Montessori education is really a preparation for life. And so I like to think about it as preparing children for what they would encounter in society. So not only a lot of knowledge and a lot of information, but preparing them to be a part of society, for them to play a role in society. So what is their specialty? Who are they? Another component of Montessori education is helping children to develop their potential, to find out who they are, where they fit into society, and what their specialty is, along with everything that they need to learn in school and all the tools that they might need to survive in society. Another component that I think is very important is developing a sense of empathy, and empathy about the greater community, empathy about people who are different than they are, a global understanding, a world view. All of those things I think are major components of Montessori education. It's not just about what you learn in the books or what you learn in the classroom, but it's about going out into the community and being a part of that community. So the Montessori model is about working in groups and learning from each other, and not just learning from the teacher, but learning from your own exploration and your own experience. It's also learning from empathy. It's learning from understanding global systems and learning through doing. So that's why we have so many materials in our classroom where the children are working with a kind of a hands-on approach, and they're able to see concepts, not just memorize them, right? So when a child in the Montessori classroom is multiplying, he or she can see how multiplication works, not just memorize how to multiply. That's a really important component of what we do, is the hands-on sensorial experience. Another thing is participating in a group and experimenting with different group roles. It's kind of a microcosm for what they will encounter later on in life. You have to be able to work in groups. And so there's sometimes a leader, and there's followers, there's the note taker, there's the artist. Everyone plays a different role in the group. And so in our classrooms, we give the children a chance to do group projects and experiment with all those different roles. And that helps inform them as to who they may become later on: a leader, an artist, the note taker, right? Because we're not telling them what to do all the time at the same time, they're expected to really know what they're doing and keep track of their day. And so we have a lot of organizational tools like their lesson lists and their work journals and those sorts of things. And it's because we feel that when they encounter the world outside of Escuela, they're going to need to be organized and to what am I trying to say? Know what to do, and it's more powerful to know yourself than to have someone tell you what to do. Children learn how to choose. Learning how to choose and being responsible, those are really important skills for life. You can have an adult tell you what to do every step of the way, or you can learn what a responsible choice is. And so we have a lot of dialogue with the children about, well, what do you think the most responsible choice would be? How to learn and how to think, It's not about memorizing, and it kind of rote learning. It's about how to think, how to analyze, how to critically think, and explore concepts. Each child has 3 years in every classroom, and I can't imagine only having students for 1 year and then they go away and they go to another classroom. Just after 1 year, you're really getting going. You're really getting to know each other. You're really getting to know the routine of the classroom. So imagine children that can do this for 2 years, and then their last year in the classroom, they really become the role models and the leaders. They know the system. They know how it works. They know how we run our meetings. They know how we set up for lunch. They know how they're expected to work during work period, how the lessons work. They know how to care for our classroom and clean it up and keep it tidy. And they teach along with me, but I really rely on them to teach the younger children how to do this. So what you see happen is really special. They have this incredible ownership and this feeling of this is my room, this is my special place, and I know how it works. And with that ownership comes a care and concern. It's not me always reminding them, remember we have to keep it clean, and remember you have to pick up your work, and remember you have to speak to each other nicely. It's not me doing that. They're the ones who are doing that because they care about what happens in here. And so then when the younger kids see that, there's no better way to guide the younger students as to how things work, and how to behave appropriately, and how to interact, and how to move through the classroom. So they really become role models, and I don't think you can do that within 1 year. I think that having 3 years really helps that process. So then the younger kids work with the older children, and a great collaboration starts to happen. The collaboration depends on both parts, right? You have the older children, and they are the leaders and the role models, but they have to explain themselves, and they have to appeal to the younger child, and they have to be kind and compassionate, and understand maybe the younger child's stress about learning new things. And then the younger child has to be respectful of their mentor, of their role model, and has to push themselves and continue to want to do better and learn more and become more responsible. And you'll hear them every year. It's inevitable when the older kids will say, oh, now it's my turn, isn't it? It's my turn. I get to do this now. That's so exciting. I get to do this. So that's the idea of having the children work together and collaborate, and how important it is that it's so amazing that it remains countercultural, that Montessori method remains countercultural, and that this traditional factory model of education that has nothing to do with how human beings work is the norm. It's very sad, and it's very unfortunate, because it'd be nice if all children would be respected enough to be educated in a way that preserves their dignity, and that directly contacts their spirit, and that is the way their brain works. Why isn't education based on brain development? I mean, that's science. There's nothing more exact than that. Why is education based on arbitrary theory and this factory model of filling children up with information and then expecting them to spit it back out? That is not how the brain works. That is not how neural connections are formed. That is not how a passionate individual becomes an adult. That's not the way it works. So I feel fortunate that I'm involved in a community where things are done in a scientific way.